Hey all, welcome once again to another day, another story from West Bengal. Today is day 394 of my Chandigarh to Australia cycling trip and day 8 of cycling here in West Bengal. So the place where I am right now, its name is Betai, Betai, and this is Indian Oil petrol pump where I stayed last night. And do you know the highlight? I am just 600 meters away from India and Bangladesh border. Today we will go and see that. Because it is Wednesday and I have to release a video at 7 p.m. for all of you, I kept editing the video till 2 o'clock and I got up at 6 this morning and started working again. When they realized that I am working from a long time sitting at the same place, one of the staff member brought a cup of tea for me. Around 12 o'clock I could finish the editing part and put it on export, and this is the time when I took bath, changed my clothes, and I was ready to leave from here. Because I have not had anything since morning, so I was feeling hungry. So when I went to one of the staff member to ask where can I go and eat, so he sent me one of the customer who was there to get the petrol in the bike, and he took me to the market where I can go and have food. It was deep inside somewhere in a market area. There were lots of shops. I asked this boy to talk to the dhaba owner and get a sabji bhat for me. I sat down on the table and then I got my plate of food. If I would not have had the help of this guy, this boy, it would have been almost impossible to find this place. It was actually a complete market where all the stalls are made with the bamboos. A heartwarming lunch experience. So while eating, I overheard something touching. One of his friend offered to pay for my meal, which I politely declined. ना पेमेंट नहीं करना आपने, खाने का पेमेंट नहीं करना, मैं करूँगा. आपने इतना सोचा उसके लिए थैंक यू. आपका नाम क्या है? विभास. और आपका? सुजय. अमित. Their conversations were quite amusing and their warmth was evident in every interaction.
Red Bull खाओगे?
Red Bull? नहीं, आप खाओ.
रोज खाते हैं, नींद नहीं आता है ना. रोज नहीं, 1-2 दिन बाद में खाते हैं, बाद में.
Okay. और पानी भी खाते होगे?
नहीं पानी नहीं खाता.
पानी क्या करते हैं?
पानी पीते हैं.
पीते हैं ना?
हाँ.
तो रेड बुल कैसे खाओगे? रेड बुल भी पीने के लिए होता है. Being naturally very curious about knowing the life near the border, I started asking questions. He shared fascinating insights about the area. क्या उधर के लोग इधर आ सकते हैं?
नहीं आ सकते. वो उधर क्या है ना, बांग्लादेश के अंदर वो जो हमारा इधर जो BSF होता है, उधर BJP होता है. BJP है. गार्ड ऑफ बांग्लादेश.
अच्छा.
हमारा जो बॉर्डर है ना, उसके उधर हमारा इधर का लोग रहता है. जो है ना, बॉर्डर देने के बाद उस लोगों का उधर ज़मीन उधर रह गया था, इसलिए वो लोग उधर रहता है. तो इधर वो लोग आ सकते हैं, लेकिन बांग्लादेश का लोग इधर नहीं आ सकते.
तो जिनके पास इधर का ID कार्ड है वो इधर आ सकेगा. खेती करने के लिए उधर जाएगा.
इधर का लोग उधर जा सकते हैं.
खेत है ना?
हाँ, उधर खेत है.
दिन में सुबह जाएंगे, शाम को वापस.
शाम 5 बजे के अंदर वो लोग उधर आ जाए.
और ये रोज होता है?
हाँ, रोज.
ऐसे जैसे हमको सुनते हैं ना कि बांग्लादेशी बॉर्डर क्रॉस करके इधर आ रहे हैं.
30 किलोमीटर उधर है, लेकिन उधर बॉर्डर नहीं है. चापरा है ना, चापरा में ऐसा होता है. अभी नहीं होता है. अभी बॉर्डर उसमें मॉडिफाई किया है, बॉर्डर ऊंचा कर दिया. अभी उधर कुछ नहीं था, खेती था.
His simple gesture of kindness along with his friend Sujoy really touched my heart.
भाई एक बात बोलूँ, इधर का जो बिल हुआ है ना, मैं तो दूंगा.
अरे नहीं
भाई, मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है भाई.
Okay, thank you. After the lunch, they took me to explore this market and we walked through all the streets one by one. Most of the shops were selling garments or ready-made clothes. While it was not very crowded, but there were many families with the children busy in doing shopping. The market was not really very large, so we covered the entire area in few minutes. Journey to the border. So it was 12:50 p.m. when I bid them the goodbye. Thank you so much. And returned to the pump. The same helpful person who helped me to find the lunch, he said that his duty will be off at 2 o'clock. It would be nice if he can join me on my visit to the border, which I happily accepted. Again, I started working on the Hindi version of my video. He was quite busy collecting the cash and depositing it back. It took him some time. It was 3:30 when we could start our journey towards the border on a red colored scooter of him. As I mentioned earlier, the border was was hardly 600 meters from this pump, so reaching there did not take the long time. After crossing several small streets, some houses, we arrived at the road which is running parallel to the border line. The border wall is impressive, standing almost 15 feet high from the ground. It seems impossible to cross, and thanks to the wire on the top. On this road you can spot BSF army members doing patrolling over a bicycle, and let me tell you honestly, looking at the border gave me a very strange feeling. It was not exactly the happiness.
से बंटवारा होता है? उधर दूसरा देश, इधर दूसरा देश।
ये तो हमारा भाई इंडिया का देश ना।
पहले वही है, जैसे दो भाई बट जाते हैं ना बीच में दीवार, लग रहा है दो भाई बट गए, बीच में दीवार खड़ी हो गई है, तू अलग मैं अलग, ना तेरा कुछ ना मेरा कुछ। बताओ। सही है।
I quickly took some photographs before any BSF soldier noticed us. You could see a soldier patrolling over a bicycle. We rode our scooter along the road parallel to the border. Though later I learned that photography is prohibited in this area. But I have already shot some video clips which I'm showing to all of you right now. But after knowing the fact, I did not record anything except few places. So from the vantage point, you can see both the sides, Indian side and Bangladesh side. And there is hardly any difference between them. From this border onwards, no man's land start, which is there in between of two borders. So this is the side of India and another side is Bangladesh. But people are there, their fields are there. They go there showing their identity card and come back after showing it. The song पंछी नदियाँ हवा के झोंके कोई सरहद ना इन्हें रोके repeatedly kept playing in my mind. My this friend shared numerous details about this area which I'll be sharing with you in some time. I also made several observations while riding on this road. Every 200 to 300 meters they have built up a checkpost or a shed. Surveillance cameras monitored all the movements on this road. They have made a checkpoint which verify your documents before you enter to that area. I observed that people are living between the India and Bangladesh border itself, because at the time of division or partition there were few villages and the agriculture land which was in between the two borders. Those people are still living there, and the crossing process for these locals is quite structured and challenging. So let me explain the border crossing process for the locals. So this system is divided into several steps. Step number 1, the operating hours is 6 AM to 5 PM. So you cannot go to that side after 5 and come here before 6. Every time at the entry and the exit, it requires thorough checking. They do it with the metal detector screening, full body check by the soldier for everyone, children, women and men. Registration in the logbook, and before entering to that side of the border, they have to submit their Indian identity proofs here in the box. So these IDs are returned at the re-entry to India. And when I was standing there and looking at this checking process, I found the strict reinforcement. This army soldier scolded a young boy who was carrying a condom from India to that side. The locals told me that all the Indian products fetch a very high price in Bangladesh, and because of this they have found that they take liquor bottle from here to that place, they will get 3 times price in Bangladesh for the same bottle. They also do the similar thing with drugs. They have told me that this is the only reason that many of the locals are having a very high-end motorcycles, and I have seen myself, most of them are having high-end Royal Enfield, Java or Yamaha bikes. This could be the reason why the security system is so stringent. Everybody has to go through the checking process, doesn't matter male, female or the children. There is one more thing, that no one is allowed to take their vehicles to that side of the border. They have to park it at the entry gate. So when I was there and looking at this process and the kind of strictness army soldiers were showing towards them, it made me feel little bad. When I looked at the same thing from a different point of view, I could understand why they are so strict. So this kind of strictness and the border is at India side only. If you look at the side of the Bangladesh, they don't have such kind of a security, and they have not built up the boundary wall. So it was 4:15 PM when we could finish the visit to the border, and we started the return journey. My plan was to go pick my bicycle and start riding towards the Karimpur. So it was fully prepared. Now we were passing through a locality where the Bengali refugees are living, and I found it really beautiful. The houses, the streets and the natural greenery everywhere were captivating. I came to know that a local fair is going on in this area from last 10 days, and Devvrat Bandhu kept insisting me to have an experience of visiting this fair. When we were crossing this festival area, a irresistible aroma of jalebis caught my attention, and I bought jalebi for 30 rupees. Devvrat Bandhu said that we will take it to the pump and eat there. But I was so much indulged in this smell that I could not stop myself because they were looking so delicious to me, and I started having until I finished it. When I saw that Devvrat Bandhu could have only 2 pieces and I ate all of them, so I went back to the same shop and purchased jalebi for 20 rupee more so that we can take it for the petrol pump staff members. Unexpected hospitality. Devvrat Bandhu made a cunning move. So instead of returning to the petrol pump, what he did is he surprised me by taking me to the house of one of the staff member at the pump. His wife warmly invited us in. When I saw that Devvrat Bandhu was not listening to her, I said if she will offer us a cup of tea, we will come inside.
बटर घोला हो गया बटर घोला
हाँ बॉर्डर घूम गया आप चाय पिलाओगे
अरे भाड़ा तो ना सुनो तक जिगा ना करो
क्या नाम है इसका?
आराध्या विश्वास
हेलो राधिया कैसे हो? हेलो. While there I learned something very interesting. So the small grocery shops which they have here in this area, they called it the Modi shop.
इसको मोदी का दुकान बोलते हैं.
From a long time I had been wanting to buy a needle which I was not finding anywhere.
दाल चाल तेल
सुई मिलेगा? सुई एक सुई चाहिए मेरे को.
है सुई कुछ
बड़ा वाला सुई.
So I asked if they have, but unfortunately they also did not have it.
Bye.
The final hour. So having tea and coming back to the pump, the time was 4:50 p.m. The darkness was approaching. The decorative lights of the village fair were already illuminated because here it gets dark at 5:30 p.m. So when we reached to the pump, it was 5 p.m. already, and I decided to postpone my ride for tomorrow.
अच्छा लगा, आपने घुमाया तो बहुत अच्छा लगा. एक बार अपना नाम बताइए सबको.
हमारा नाम देवव्रत घोष.
घोष बाबू. धन्यवाद.
यादव मैं बिहार में यादव बोल रहा है ना ये.
हाँ यादव बोलूं कि घोष बाबू?
यादव घोष एक ही है, बिहार में यादव.
अच्छा इधर घोष है. ओके तो घोष बाबू धन्यवाद.
ठीक है थैंक यू. काम से काम चालू करो.
हाँ
काम चालू करने के बाद 2-3 घंटा काम करो.
अच्छा
5 बजे अभी तक 5 बजे. अभी तो 8 बजे 8:30 बजे का तो मेला घूमने जाए.
अच्छा मेला देखने चलेंगे.
मेला
क्या बात है. आज तो आपके नाम हो गया दिन मेरा पूरा. ठीक है
बहुत मजा आएगा, बहुत मस्ती करेगा.
चलो.
As there were lots of mosquitoes in this area, I needed a mosquito repellent cream which I found with some difficulty. So me and Devvrat Bandhu, we decided to go to the village fair tonight at 8 o'clock. So I was sitting and working on my video. So I noticed a new staff member who was roaming around me and asking how the work is going on, and I was telling yes it's going on fine. And I was looking for Devvrat Bandhu because he was not visible anywhere. Soon it was 9 and 9:30, but Devvrat Bandhu was nowhere. So this new staff member appeared again, and I asked from his, where is Devvrat Bandhu? We have decided to go to the village fair at 8 o'clock, and I'm looking for him. Then he said that I am Devvrat Ghosh, and it really made me surprised. The man with whom I was throughout the afternoon, and now this man who is standing in front of me, they are 2 different people. Don't you think so?
आप पहचान पा रहे हैं? ये वही है जो दोपहर को मेरे साथ थे. तो अभी कंफ्यूजन हुआ है. मैं इनको ढूंढ रहा हूँ कि कहाँ गए हैं, और ये मेरे आसपास घूम रहे हैं और मैं इनको पहचान नहीं रहा हूँ. अब 9:50 पे हम जा रहे हैं.
His look is completely changed. I felt so bad that I could not even recognize him. It was 9:50 when we went to the village fair. The festivities were in full swing with numerous stalls. Locals were trying various dishes, and we started with egg paratha roll. This fair had everything: chips, puchka, omelette, shakes, peanuts, jalebi, and lot more. There were also the stalls which were selling clothes and the toys. A stage was set up for religious program at the eve of Durga Puja. There was a singer performing bhajans, and there was a gathering in front of that in the pandal. Seems everybody was enjoying the devotional music. The atmosphere was very vibrant. Everyone was either shopping or enjoying different foods. I saw a vendor who was selling something and there was no customer around, so I went there and helped him to make a sale of 20 rupees, and I found it surprisingly very tasty. The egg roll, despite of very nice presentation, was not good in the taste. Probably it was the bad taste of the sauce. We went to the omelette stall and had one omelette each. There we met Rafiq, who is another staff member at the pump. I enjoyed observing the crowd, particularly noticing an elderly woman with a child in her arms. Maybe she was short of money or something. She was negotiating on the price of peanuts. It was a touching scene of everyday life. As our final indulgence, I tried a glass of milkshake, though it was not very impressive. So this way our day ended at the fair and we returned back to the petrol pump.
So we have come back. Time is around 12 o'clock in the midnight.
My today's expenses are the lunch and the tea was paid by them. Jalebi 50 rupee, egg roll 80 rupee, snacks from that hawker was 20 rupee, milkshake 20 rupees, puchkas 40 rupees. So it's a total of 210 rupees. If you like this kind of my story of my journey around the world, then subscribe to my channel World Wanderers Cycling on a Budget and hit the bell icon so that you get the notification about my videos first. What did I do when I found that my journey on the highway was very monotonous? How was my journey on this village road? How I find a shelter at night? That's a very adventurous story with full of views. I'm giving you the link of that video here. Please go and watch. And those who have supported me like Amit Mondal, Devur Bandhu, their names are given here. That's all for now. Take care of yourself. We will meet soon with a new journey of a new day tomorrow. Bye bye.